Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Reluctant Reviews and Colour Apple Star Wars podcast. The first of how many? Probably one. Today I am joined with a man who unironically uses the word poggers, the Colour Apple.
Hello there.
We're going to talk today about Lego Star Wars because we're really cool. Don't you know that? We're very cool people.
Very, very cool.
The coolest, you might say.
We talk about Star Wars.
All the time. Star Wars, isn't it great? Star Wars. We're gonna go over the Skywalker saga and the new trailer because we like Star Wars and we like Lego and we like podcasts and we like sadomasochism. Harley, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
Honestly, it looks like I'm still kind of having a hard time believing it's real. Like, it feels almost too good to be true, because when I first played the Complete Saga on the Wii, I know it released other things, but I ended up playing it on the Wii. That was one of my favorite games on the system. And I remember thinking to myself, especially as I got older, like, oh, I wish it kind of did things a bit differently, or wished it did something like this, or expand on this a bit more. And this game has like answered all of those requests, I guess.
I'm on my end, at least. I've actually played these games quite recently, and I think they are pretty much the best Lego games out there at the moment. So it's very interesting to see another take on it. Obviously, Lego Star Wars. I think that's the Lego game. If you talk about Lego games, that's probably the one most people will go to. Maybe Batman.
Yeah.
But that's sort of their main. That was their main thing. That was obviously Lego Star Wars is a complete saga. Well, not a complete saga, but Lego Star Wars was the first Star Wars game Lego made.
Yeah.
So I do think I do think it's interesting to see a retake on that.
From gameplay alone, it's surprising how much of a shift it is, because they began talking about like upgrades and like new mechanics, which is almost like something I never thought I would see, especially in like a Lego game, because like at the end of the day, they are kind of aimed at children, and I thought that might be a bit like, oh, it's just too complicated for children. But no, I'm honestly kind of glad they are in the game at all. They look like they're going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know what the most recent Lego game is you played. The one for me was Incredibles, and that it does even from that it looks like a completely different game.
I haven't played many Lego games as of recent, although I would say the newest one I'm aware of is DC Villains. Even so, in comparison to that, this looks extremely different.
I think was it Lego Movie 2 game? That was
Lego 2.
Yeah, that's meant to be
the Lego Movie 2.
Yeah, that's meant to be actually look a bit like that. From what I've seen, it's another. Well, should we talk about what the Skywalker saga is? Like what the
Yeah, we definitely should. Although I would hope that people watch podcasts would know, or listening to this podcast would know already.
I think like the sort of the why it's different to the original, and how it's.
Yeah, do you want me to do that?
Yeah, if you want to.
Right. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is the next game in like the Lego game franchise. It's been based off all 9 Star Wars films now, not just the first 6. Prequels, sequels, and original trilogy. And it's been like the next big step for them, because looking at the trailer, there's just so many like small, minute details which we've just never really seen in a Lego game before. But yeah, they're just rebuilding. I want to say it's a rebuild of the complete saga, but I think it's kind of being seen as its own thing now rather than just like a remaster.
Yeah, it's not really a remaster. It's because I don't I don't know if it's
More of a
confirmed,
fresh take.
but it doesn't look like they're sticking to the sort of 6 levels to a story thing.
Hmm.
I think they are going to be. I think they'll be. You know, they might actually be able to go in a bit more into detail about the story.
Yeah. Actually, that leads us on to kind of the next point. Um, just general gameplay improvements they've had. It said in the trailer you're going to be able to basically start with any story you want,
I think it's the
and that's like
first film in each
first.
trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that it was either that or like any film, but like I think it's a really smart idea being able to sort of start where you
yeah,
like.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
yeah.
I have a kind of guilty nostalgia for the prequel. So I'm definitely going to be starting with episode 1 and working my way from 1 to 9.
And I have
It's kind of nice to
OCD,
give them
so
so many
I'll
people.
also be starting from 1 to 9.
No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start episode 4, and then once I finish it, I'm going to put the game down and pretend the rest doesn't exist.
Do the original trilogy and then pretend all other Star Wars media was a dream.
Hmm. No, what do you mean? Star Wars was just a dream. Star Wars was a rip-off of Lego Star Wars.
Star Wars is actually Lego Star Wars is a rip off Fortnite. If you think about it,
God, we've just triggered so many
yeah.
people. Everyone clicked off this
The
now.
3 people who are watching this podcast have now left the room. Not even turned it off, just left the room.
Yeah, but God, what to talk about next? I guess we can talk about characters as we're talking about all the trilogies. So it's confirmed to have over 300 plus characters, which is like Jesus. I'm not sure how many the original game had, but it's definitely a bigger number. I mean, well, the Skywalker saga has a bigger number.
Yeah, I think the original. I'm gonna Google it quickly. This is how prepared we are, viewer. Uh,
I do know it was a lot, but that's another thing where it's like it really feels like it's like the devs have put a lot of time into it. They've actually cared enough to try and give every corner of the franchise a bit of care.
it is interesting that they've said 300 plus, not giving a number. They're not being
I
like
mean,
307. They're very much. They
makes me
might.
wonder there might be a few hidden characters.
Yeah. So
That's actually
it has
another thing I felt
nearly.
with this
So
game.
this article, Screen Rant, have said that it has nearly 300 characters in Lego Skywalker Saga.
Right. So I'm guessing most the character in the complete saga get some sort of representation in Skywalker Saga.
Well, so
But
I
that's
think
like
the original. The original. Oh, hang on. So I put in Skywalker Saga. This is a professional
oh yeah,
podcast.
dumb.
It's the complete saga, isn't it? So there's 160 playable characters in Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
100 in Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, there's 160 in the complete, and there's around 300, we'll say, in the new one.
Yeah, so it's it's almost doubled. So
Yeah, but
that's
there
pretty good.
is a third more of the content too. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I mean, this might be cut down into a bit of a Star Wars podcast, but I can't think of that many memorable side characters from the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna just pull basically every character we've ever seen on screen
Well,
into the
yeah,
game.
it's Lego,
Every
so
character that deserves them. Yeah,
there will
that make it work, I'm
there will be
sure.
probably 7 versions of Ray.
Yeah, to be fair, I wouldn't really mind that because it's sometimes better having them as separate characters rather than like the way you could like put them in other Lego games.
Yeah,
But no, it's a solid idea. And that kind of leads me on to what I was going to say. It does make me feel like they've got a lot of passion into this game because I know they're a company, so they can only put like so much um there's only so much care behind it. At the end of the day, it is just meant to make money. But one feeling I always got from the original was there was just like care put into behind the devs.
it
And the fact that
does.
this game has
Yeah,
been delayed twice now, kind of shows that like they do kind of they actually want to try and make a kind of just the next big step in Lego games and make it the ultimate experience for people.
it does feel like, yeah, the delaying, although it has pissed people off, I think the delaying is a really good thing because it does feel like they're going for
Yeah,
quality over quantity.
well,
You know what I mean?
I feel like see, there is the next kind of. I know this is all over the place, but that's a little bit of a scare for me as well. This game has been delayed. Is it 2 or 3 times now? I'm just going to say 2 times for
Oh, I think it was
simplicity.
announced like 2020.
Yeah, but it's been delayed a few times.
Not as much as
And
Cyberpunk,
one kind of
but
trend I've noticed recently in modern gaming is even though a game could be released, I mean, delayed several times, release and still be a buggy mess.
yeah,
I wouldn't want this game to come out and the first thing that happens is I fall through the floor. Like I really am kind of I don't really have anything to support my like worries here. It's more of just it's happened so many times before. I don't want it to happen to this game.
I think something I'm quite worried about is they are going more into the the sort of open world aspect, and that's never been an aspect of the Lego games I've enjoyed really.
Yeah, they're more of an afterthought. I always feel like more of an afterthought. And the fact that these ones are gonna like change depending on what story you're in makes me wonder even more if there's just gonna be some areas which are just gonna be broken, which they somehow overlooked.
Yeah, that is the. I think another thing though is planets in
Mm,
gold bricks.
there's,
It's gonna be a nightmare if the game doesn't feel fun. We're not going to
yeah,
collect it, and
I do wonder how much.
yeah, it's not the level like the older games were great because they had like the kind of isometric levels.
Yeah, it does make me wonder because if they're gonna, everything seems to be bigger in this game, and it's gonna be a grind to complete. But is it gonna be a fun grind?
Well, yeah,
Because I wouldn't say the Lego games are immune from that. Because I definitely played Lego games where I'm like, I really can't be bothered to do this side mission to unlock this one like collectible, which I'm never gonna need.
and it's also the idea of collectibles for the sake of collect. Like the original Lego Star Wars game had some like the collectibles. There were so many collectibles in that game, but everything felt like it did something.
Yeah, because a lot of the collectibles unlocked like special abilities in
Yeah,
the like character. It had like it didn't have an upgrade system, but it had like extras you could turn on. Um, there, actually, I've just thought of one thing while that was done. I said I didn't have anything to sort of back up my claims or worries that the game is going to be a bit buggy. There was a few problems in the trailers. I forget if it was the recent one or the one we had few months ago, where there was battle droids that were like the animations working properly, like Qui-Gon attacks them, and then they like put away their weapons and begin walking towards them as if they were still holding the weapon.
Yeah, I think that will
And I
probably be a
definitely
thing.
wasn't the only person. Yeah, I definitely wasn't the only person to notice that. It could have just been something they changed, like they disabled the enemies attacking so they could record gameplay easier, but it was still something I noticed.
We don't know when that stuff was recorded too.
That is very true.
Um, I think it's a modern video game, so we're gonna get day one bugs. We
Oh yeah, definitely. We're not be
It won't be
immune from
fixed
them. I just hope the
immediately.
bugs aren't like, yeah. The Lego games aren't immune to bugs. I can definitely think of like bugs in Lego games, but I wouldn't want my first experience with the game to be, or anyone's first experience with the game to be like you open it
It's
and it's
interesting
just like
you
unplayable.
say that because I can't. I played through the complete saga bugless.
Um, I can't really think of any bugs in the complete saga, but I
Yeah,
can definitely think of like there was a bug in Lego Marvel where you could like fall through the floor of the hub world and just get out.
as the games have gone on, they've got buggier, but I think that's because
Yeah,
they were being released every year.
yeah.
But I think
That
we still haven't
it
seen
doesn't.
anything really.
Yeah, it kind of shocked me how much little unedited gameplay. So far, the trailers have been very like not fast paced, but they've been very like picky with what
Selective of
they've shown.
what, yeah.
Yeah, and if one thing, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you've seen the game like UI of just when you're playing it. Like, you know, like the classic Lego UI, you have the character portrait in the top left, along with like three hearts and like a
Yes.
stud collect.
Yeah, I haven't seen
You've
that.
not seen that game yet,
No, I wonder
and
if
that
that won't be a
became
thing. I wonder if they'll check their check or have we not? We haven't seen, as far as I'm aware, any level footage. I'm not sure if we've actually.
we definitely have some level footage, but the HUD's always been turned off, and that makes me wonder whether it's either just gone or if it's like um if you don't take damage for a while and the HUD doesn't update for a while, it goes like invisible, kind of add like a cinematic look to it. And the
Maybe.
HUD's only ever on like collecting studs or taking damage or anything like that. Which could be an interesting way of doing it actually, because I kind of like the no HUD look sometimes, but you would definitely not be able to play like a full game like that.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing something else with it.
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Okay, like, should we get into the big thing then? Should we get into the big mumble mode?
Yeah, definitely. This was something I did not see them doing.
I had heard leaks and I'd heard a lot of rumors that it was something that was happening, but I wasn't sure if it was like, clickbait. YouTube was kind of being like, "Oh, mumble mode's a thing." Should we talk about? Because I have some very big concerns that it will just be the dialogue, but someone's going and not like it doesn't translate everything. It just gets rid of voice acting.
Yeah. We do see a little example of it at the end of the trailer, and I don't really mind the way they've done it.
But it's interesting because I think the scene they used was the no I am the Darth Vader,
I am your father.
yeah, that bit. And in
Hmm.
the original game, I think that's done so well
Hmm.
because he just holds up a picture. I think of Luke and just go, or like he holds up like a picture and points to it, and I think it's a good sight if you know
Yeah.
what that scene is. It's a funny way of sort of showing.
Making fun of
Yeah, I think if
it.
they
Yeah, I definitely. they've definitely done it differently. 'Cause you need to remember this game has been built around the voice acting, whether it's been original voice lines or ones pulled from the films. We don't really know yet.
I don't want that.
But
It hasn't. It's never worked, that voice lines from the film thing.
yeah, uh, it's definitely nice to have mumble mode be an option. I do wonder how much it's going to cost though, because it's in the like
Yeah,
extras, which makes me wonder: are we going to have to play through a large majority of the game first before we can even buy it?
it might be like adaptive difficulty, I think it's called,
Maybe.
and you just turn it on in the extras. You have to buy it.
Hmm. There's been another one kind of that was in the trailer where it was retro mode, which I don't think we've been shown, but I think the general like rumored thing it's going to do is it's going to make the graphics look more like the original Lego games.
Sort of like a Halo remastered thing they did,
Which,
where they gave you the option to go back to
yeah,
the old school graphics.
yeah, it could definitely be interesting. Even if it's not perfect, though, I like the fact that it is in the game at all because it once again it showed that they like thought about everyone and they wanted to try and please as many people as possible.
It's a nice option to have, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
There's already been DLC approved, hasn't there? Though.
Oh yeah, that's we could get into that, but I have some very strong opinions on that.
I think
Well, not really strong opinions, but it's more of just like I don't prefer. I don't mind the idea of DLC, but the fact that the DLC's already been planned and it's going to launch alongside the game,
yeah,
it always just feels like they took like they made the full game and then they went, "Hey, we could probably get more money out of this." They cut a small section out and then sold it separately
yeah,
just to get more
it's a
money.
weird one.
One thing which does surprise, well, that doesn't surprise me, is a lot of them are like Disney, not Disney exclusive characters. Like there's a classic characters pack,
Aren't they all the
like
ones from
Mandalore
Disney
season one.
stuff? So it's like the Mandalorian and Solo.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Disney's there's been a pull of their hand somewhere.
Probably like
At least they're not like locking important characters behind a paywall. Like there's still 300 plus
oh
characters
yeah,
in the game, so
and
we're not at
it's
a
like
limit.
the Mandalorian's a great TV show. I love it, but
Mm.
I'm not gonna lose sleep over it not being in the game.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's been the DLC characters have kind of just been locked off to sort of spin-off stuff, and it's not like, as I said, they're not like locked in main characters behind paywalls.
And it doesn't like it's any story stuff either.
Yeah,
So
it's just a characters
there
pack.
won't be new abilities.
We don't know. There's definitely something they've probably put behind it to make it a bit more worth a purchase. It kind of depends how much they're going to cost,
It's
really.
the Mandalorian, isn't it? Like, you don't need a reason to purchase him. The show was
True.
huge.
Mm.
I know there are. I know
But
there's like
then,
Solo, I think, and Rogue One.
yeah.
I think they're both. I think the Book of Boba Fett might be one too. I haven't seen that yet.
Mm. The next point really is what this could mean for like future games in like the Lego game series.
Oh, should we?
I would definitely be open to new, not necessarily, I guess, not remasters, remakes, that's the word. Remakes of older Lego games. Like, I would love to see the first three Lego Batman games, like, redone and put into one full game.
Or
I think
can
that could be
I
great.
mention the leaks I've seen?
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of them was Indiana Jones because the new Indiana Jones film comes out this year, I think,
That's good.
and obviously it's the last one, so they're probably gonna try and do. I'd imagine to be doing that as the next big one, which does tie into kind of what they've done the last couple of years, or what they're doing with this, and then it sort of ties into continue on remaking their old games because that was the second Lego game they made.
Yeah, I would definitely be open to new remakes, though, just of any like franchise, even the Lego Harry Potter ones. I didn't play the originals, but if they was to be
You haven't
remade,
played the
I would
originals.
consider. I didn't play the originals. I didn't own them.
You should give you. It's quite cheap on Steam at the moment.
I'll definitely check them out at some point.
Yeah, they're very good. I love them. I love them to bits. Yeah, no,
Star Wars was always my go-to, though.
the other leak I've seen recently is James Bond. They could be doing some James Bond
That could be
ones.
interesting.
I don't know how they're going to tackle that though, because it's he does the sex to a lot of women in those films.
Yeah,
And there's a
true,
lot of
but
films.
Lego can make things work.
How many James Bond films are there? It's like 50.
There's got to be at least 500 of them.
I reckon there's 20.
It could work. It could definitely work because Lego can around those kind of things.
There are
The
27
only
James
thing
Bond
I'm
films.
thinking of it is like, yeah. I mean, they've done Indiana Jones before. They had the plane with the, the no symbols on it, and they still made Lego sets for it.
Yeah,
They just removed the symbol.
I didn't know that. I thought I didn't. I mean, I didn't even think of that.
But no symbols is probably the worst way I could have said.
Gamer symbols.
Famous symbols which dictated very bad events, which if I say on YouTube, might get the whole channel.
Basically, there are these people called the. Um. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the swastikas.
Yeah.
um.
That's the point in the podcast where you just edit like the Windows like error sound, and it's just the videos like, sorry, this video has been taken down.
Yeah,
Or just censor it.
I think it's very different depending on whether this works or not.
Mm,
Because obviously we're all assuming that this is going to be the best Lego game since ever, but it might
yeah.
not be.
Yeah, it's been picked up as this next gen entry. But when you think about it, it's not doing anything in game which games haven't already been doing for quite a few
No,
years now. The whole
it's
idea of like
just
a skill
sort of
tree and
kind of taking the open world stuff and putting it into the levels. That's probably all it
true.
is of it. I mean, the combat
They, there would
looks.
be multiple routes through each level.
Yeah, that could be really. I think the overhaul to a lot of gameplay mechanics could be interesting, but we haven't seen like a level when it's coming out in April.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've been incredibly picky with how they've done the trailers. They've been very careful not to show up like they've shown us gameplay, but they've not shown us like consistent gameplay from the same clip.
Yeah.
And also, maybe this is just a thing for me, but I find it very difficult to find the difference between game footage and gameplay footage in Lego games
Yeah.
now.
I think humor too is a really important thing to have it because
Yeah,
I hope the humor isn't depending on writing, but there is that
yeah,
scene where
more
the
visual.
stormtroopers are arguing over who shot first, and I mean it's a stupid argument because everyone who plays that game is going to go Han. But why not
Yeah.
put that? And you could do that in a cutscene too. You could just do that in a cutscene, and Lego have already rinsed that joke to shreds in other mediums.
Yeah.
There's like the Lego Star Wars thing they did a few years ago, and one of the scenes is Han shoots a stormtrooper, and Leia goes, "Han, you shot first." And he goes, "Well, yeah, I always shoot first."
Yeah. The joke's funny once, but I hope that's like the only joke we hear of it in actual game. I wouldn't want that to be like the entire of every single time hands on screen. There's always like a joke like, "Oh, you shot
Yeah,
first." Like that's just not.
I'd hope they'd go
That's not something
more,
I want to
because if they're doing mumble mode too, I'd hope they do more kind of visual comedy, and it's also a lot more Star Wars focused. Like some of the later games have tried to be just generally funny, and it's more funny when they poke fun at the source material a bit.
do. Yeah. At their core, though, they're pretty silly concepts. So I feel like the best thing to do is just to run with it.
Yeah, I don't want them to take themselves seriously.
Mm, right. And what's another thing we can talk about? I've kind of run out of subjects.
We have covered almost everything we've written down.
Say again?
We've covered pretty much everything we've written down.
Yeah.
We're going for about half an hour. That's pretty solid for us.
Yeah. I mean, I think that my general like closing thoughts on it is like I am excited for the game, and I do think it's gonna do well. I want it to do really good, but I will be content with it just doing
I
good.
think if it doesn't do well, it could be interesting to see a shift maybe, and maybe Lego trying to go more of their own IPs. So maybe if this goes
Maybe I
badly,
would
maybe we'll
definitely
get like a Lego Battle Royale game.
I would definitely be open to original Lego games. Like I think it would be really cool if franchises like I don't know Ninjago or even Lego City. I mean Lego City kind of already do. They have like the whole Chase
Yeah,
McCain series. It would be interesting to see like those games given the budget of a game like this.
I think it'd be really interesting to see maybe if they do like Lego go karting.
Lego Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Or I also
I mean, hey, anything can happen.
hope that if this works, they do stuff like maybe Lego Back to the Future. Maybe they go into the Dimensions IPs, or maybe they just do a new version of Lego Dimensions. Just kind of,
Without the whole toys to life
yeah.
element.
I hope that they just remaster that game, get rid of the Toys to Life.
Yeah, that game deserves a second chance.
Well, it's stuff like Lego Doctor Who and things. Like, it's
Hmm.
got so many IPs in there that are just being wasted. Do you
Yeah.
think this Back to the Future's in
Like
there?
I also like what I said earlier, like I would love to see a remake of the first three Lego Batman
Yeah,
games. They could definitely work.
that could
In
be.
fact, not even the first three games, the first one. I want to see a remake of the first one.
Yeah, the first one's a bona fide classic.
Yeah, 'cause I don't. Okay, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, as I don't actually know. The first Lego Batman isn't based off any
Yeah,
particular story. I'm pretty sure the Lego Batman series was like its own stories told with the DC
I'm
characters.
pretty sure it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
they might be taking inspiration from like I think the style is meant to be Tim Burton,
yeah,
but I mean at least the first two. I don't know anything about the third one. I haven't played it, but the first two are meant to be
yeah. Lego DC Villains though looks really good, and I believe Batman is another cool character in that game, and he plays really well, and is like one of the best characters in the game. And I would just love to see that brought back into the first Lego Batman
Yeah,
game, because that one itself is also just like I would say it's up there with like complete saga with like iconic levels.
yeah. I think it'd be interesting to see vehicle combat. That's the thing, isn't it? The flight combat.
Yeah, I know not a lot of people are too fond of those sections. I will admit they are definitely like jar and shifting gameplay, so it'd be nice if they were a little more in
I think they
depth.
hit really well in one of the levels, and they never did it. I think it's like the third film with Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they're flying through the big fight. I think,
Oh yeah, at the
yeah,
beginning, that was done
that was
really
the
well, but
best vehicle
then
level. But then you have ones like
yeah, as you said, they never did it again.
you have sort of ones where it was a lot more backtracky and kind of hard to
Yeah, I
control.
remember there was, I think there was two flying levels in the Clone Wars film. One at the beginning, one at the end, or like close enough to that. And I remember them being like some of the worst levels in the game.
Clone Wars is. I think I did complete the some of it, but I couldn't remember if I had finished it or not.
Mm. I will admit, it's been a long time since I've played those. Even though I like Lego Star Wars, it's been a long time since I've actually played it, so my memory is a little fuzzy.
I think
I probably should have replayed it for this podcast.
not yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting, sort of, because I don't know if you played The Force Awakens. But The Force Awakens is it gives a canonical reason as to why um C-3PO has a red arm, and it'd be interesting to see if they do maybe more things like
Yeah,
that.
doesn't he just like paint it?
No, he loses it in a battle,
Oh, okay.
but it would be really interesting if they do more things like that. I
Hmm.
wonder how much.
Actually, that's made me wonder. In the Skywalker saga, are they basically just taking that Lego game and just plonking it into this one, or do you think it's going to be like a new
Oh, I
version
think
of
they're
it?
remaking it all. I think because that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that one was definitely maybe. I think maybe it was tested. I think the Skywalker saga might have been just those three films originally, and then
yeah,
Lego or Disney or somebody went release the Force Awakens because they
yeah.
didn't do it with the other two,
It's
did
pretty
they?
interesting though. Yeah, I feel like this game's been on the idea board for quite a long time.
I think it's definitely. I think it might have been changed to have all nine films in when the sequels didn't do very well.
Yeah,
But I think it's going to be an interesting. I think it's going to be a really interesting Lego game as to whether or not it can be as good as the first one, the early ones,
yeah.
and hopefully it's fun to
This
play.
is being like made all at once. I have faith in that they'll be able to make it a very fun experience all throughout.
Yeah, I think it'd be sort of interesting to see because obviously Star Wars has changed so much in 15 years. Like the
Yeah,
opinion on what's good in Star Wars has changed a lot since 2005.
yeah. You can say that again.
So I think it'd be really interesting to see how much of the expanded material is taken, is used, and like how much sort of
Mm.
how hard it's going to go on it.
I don't think they get too obscure with it because they're obviously taking the nine films into consideration. I don't think they go too far out into like comic or spin-off territory because once Disney brought Star Wars, they basically made everything outside of the films not canon.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see though maybe if instead of having just random side
Definitely.
quests they do something. They just adapt something from standard material. It's
Yeah.
not gonna it's not gonna alienate everyone. It's just more Star Wars.
Hmm. Does make me wonder what you can do. Like once you've completed all 9 films, how much you will have left to do. I feel like it's going to be quite a lot. Like you know how like Lego games have the percent
I reckon there will
how
be
much you're
at
done.
least 300 gold bricks.
Jeez.
Because that's about roughly how
But
much are in
there was
Lego Jurassic World, I think.
yeah, sounds about
Give or take
right.
about 20.
Hmm. They had the they had it so most Lego games have like a percent done on like your save
Yeah.
file. And it does make me wonder, like, once you've completed all 9 films, what will that number say? Will it say like 20% done,
On the original Lego
or
Star
will
Wars,
it?
I think it's like 30.
Jeez,
I suppose it depends on how much you collect and stuff in the levels.
yeah,
I just hope.
it's a big game.
I kind of hope it's not too big.
I think don't we have the actual size of how much it's going to be now?
40 gigs.
Is Jesus Christ? I mean, that ain't too bad to be honest. Like, you can definitely name bigger
Yeah.
games.
I think collectible wise though, if there's too many collectibles, and the collectibles aren't fun to collect.
Hmm. I suppose it won't really matter too much though, because they're not going to be like mandatory to complete
No, no.
um the
But then
game.
after you finish the story, what is fun about the game?
That is true. It depends how much like side content there is to do, which is actually interesting.
Like the fun of the original games was going around collecting things.
Hmm. I don't remember what game it was. It might have been like a Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which I remember had like completely separate levels from the main campaign.
Like
I think they
bonus.
were like you played as like the bounty hunters or something. Yeah, they were completely
Oh,
like
what
bonus
bounty?
levels, which I won't.
There were bounty hunter missions in the original Lego Star Wars games.
There
Yeah.
were. Oh yeah, there were, weren't they? I just think it could be, or even if it's just something purely for fun. Like let's say we. Oh, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't really think of anything, but we've always seen like a story beat from one character's perspective. I think maybe it could be interesting to have just like completely bonus levels the developers have made for fun, which tells the same story but from a different
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah, like going to um maybe like a New Hope, but it's Darth Vader. Could be interesting.
Yeah, kinda. It's kind of hard to think of any examples, but it's like something I kind of want to see.
Maybe even if it's
Because
just
I
like
think the original Lego
races
Star
or
Wars was
something
something like
in
that.
like vehicle races. Like I hope the
Hmm.
gold bricks aren't just hidden behind. I'd like it if they had like a mode or something. It would make it a little bit easier to like you go somewhere right, there's like a racetrack here and there's 10 races. You do all 10 of those races, you get gold bricks on this planet.
Yeah. You need to remember though, free play mode like is a thing. Like, there's going to be like points. Like, one thing I remember very like vividly about the original Lego Star Wars is it's there was levels in like the begin like the very first level of the game. There was rooms you could not
Yeah, yeah,
return to until you had like completed the game
yeah.
essentially. So replay value is going to be a big one.
Yeah,
But now that they're adding like extra routes through levels, does make me wonder. Like it might actually be like fun to go back
yeah.
like
It'd
old
be
levels with
really
different
interesting,
characters.
and I mean co-op too. It could be really interesting to see how they do co-op.
I wonder if it'll be split screen.
Almost definitely.
I see. Lego Star Wars, I always did it split screen in a very weird way. It's like if you were near each other, it would be one screen, but if you went far apart, it would actually split the screen.
Yeah, I think
We need lanterns.
I think the split screen stuff.
I want chains and lanterns.
I think
That's
it will
exactly.
all
It would
be
be nice
split
to have
screen.
online play,
I
actually.
think it will all be split screen because it's.
Oh yeah.
I think it's all going to be third person.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be really interesting though if they did like online play because like, let's say you wanted to play with someone, not necessarily like online, but you wanted to play with a friend who wasn't in the same room
Yeah.
as you.
Oh, what's
That
her
would be
name?
nice, but I don't think it's anything they're gonna do because
Mm.
I don't think a single Lego game had that, unless I'm mistaken.
It's,
I don't know. I've always assumed they have.
it ends with 10.
I mean, they've always kind of had the co-op couch play, I call it, but I think you will have to be sitting next to someone to actually play the game with them. You can't do it over long distances, which is kind of a shame, but hey, it's not really a huge loss.
There is online co-op for some of them. On the Complete Saga, there's a mod.
Well, I'm going to quickly look up.
But no, the Lego series doesn't support online multiplayer.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It's not to say this one won't. I think this one probably will because of the pandemic.
There's a chance. But I think that has almost covered everything let's talk
I
about.
can't think of much more to talk about. Final thoughts?
We've talked about the new mechanic. Final thoughts, just honestly excited for this game and hope it does well. Even if it doesn't, I'm probably still going to like it, but
Yeah, I just hope it's a fun game, really. We probably.
But I think the final thought we should end on Star Wars, the Sky, Scar, there, let me start again. Star Wars, Skywalker. What's the ninth film called?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, and Star Wars: The Last Jedi should have their names moved around. That's all I want. That's the only edit they need to
There we
make.
go. On that perfect note, I was going to end by saying that Harley unironically says the word poggers. Oh shit, I've said your name.
It's fine.
Fuck, I've said I didn't want to edit this at all, and now I've got to do like so much. Oh man. I will edit that out.
It's fine. I don't mind.
Because I'll take it out. Don't worry. The color
Okay.
apple says unironically says the word poggers. That's the full sound.
Episode 9 sucked.
The prequels are shit.
No, as I said, I have a soft spot for the
I
prequels,
have a.
but they're
I
dated.
Episode.
I'm just thinking of that one
Is the
scene
worst thing I've ever seen.
where Jar Jar Binks goes to push the bush out his way and it just doesn't go through his arm at all. It just looks so janky.
Do you know? I'm surprised that J.J. Abrams never wrote in a scene where Jar Jar Binks is like sitting there, just kind of opening scene of The Force Awakens. I would have had Jar Jar Binks kind of sitting on a bench, and then Han Solo just comes out of nowhere and shoots him.
I've been expecting you.
He shoots him, and then he's like, "I hated that prick," and then that's what I would have done. That's fan service, but it's good fan service.
That's fan service
That
right
and
there.
having Luke leave his fucking planet. There's an X-wing there. There is an X-wing there. We know there's an X-wing there now. Why didn't he leave?
That's actually the kind of shenanigans they would do, though, because like imagine that cutscene like playing, and he like goes to hit
That's how I
Luke,
start the game.
and he actually like makes contact with him.
I start the game with Jar Jar Binks dying.
It's like a really bad 3D animation. It's just like him T-posing, just like explode.
It irritates me how important he is to the originals. Lego Star Wars. It really annoys me how important he is to those games.
Nah, he's the best character. Am I right? Prequels fans, upright,
I don't
right?
think prequels fans like him.
Anyone? Only Facebook mums. Jar Jar Binks has fallen into the same obscurity as Minions.
Is he a Minion meme now?
Kind of.
Oh my god. And on that very disturbing
Anyway, I think we should
note,
end this podcast before we go on a run about
on
the
that very
prequels.
disturbing note, I'm sure we'll come back for a sequel, the Star Wars sequels rant.
Maybe we could do one that when the games actually come out, we've had some time to think
Yeah.
about it.
On that very disturbing note of Jar Jar Binks being a Facebook meme, thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a good
See ya.
50 odd minutes. We'll see you for next time. Maybe Harley will be there. Maybe I'll get someone else to talk to about something different.
You've just said my name again.
I mean, maybe the Colour Apple will be there. Maybe I'll get someone else.
Just leave it in. Just
Yeah.
leave it in.
Okay. Maybe he'll be here.
Just in the description, it's just like Apple name reveal.
That's what I could do the Colour Apple name reveal, and then I could put on the next time you upload like a 3D render thing. I just put that in the description. I put link 5 minutes in the description.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if every time I say your name by accident, I change it so it says something like James?
Just like very clearly edited over. No, it's like the clip of Obi-Wan Kenobi just shouting Anakin.
It's just like Steve.
Right. Let's end this before we do something
Let's end
stupid.
this before I accidentally leak your address. Thank you for watching. Join me in episode 2, whatever that will be. I'm gonna make this a thing now. I've decided in the last 2 minutes. This was episode 1.
Oh boy.
We'll have episode 2 will be Harley's brother.
Please no.
Whose name is Jonathan.
Aha, Jonathan.
I know, I do want to do an episode 2 of this. I like the idea of doing like I get a different guest on.
Honestly, go for it.
I think I'll do that. I think I'll talk to some people, see if they want to come on my podcast.
The funny thing is, I said haha Jonathan just then. There's only one person in the audience who's going to get that
Cameron
joke.
won't watch this. It's too long. Thank you all for watching.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.